Okay, welcome back to another episode of Vintage Fly Tying. Today we're going to be tying up a Royal Coachman streamer. This is an actual fly that my father tied 50 years ago. It's in very good condition for its age. This version here, he used brown hackle for the tail and brown hackle for a beard. And on his other version of it, which is on a slightly bigger hook, he used brown hackle on the a full hackle in front here, and the tail he used the golden pheasant. So slightly different, but yet still very similar. The wings are the same, and everything else is pretty much the same. Okay, I'm going to try to replicate this the best I can, and let's see how I do. Here we go. Alright, let's get to tying this fly. What we have in the vise is a size 8 long shank eagle claw hook from the 70s. It's a streamer hook and it's offset. Offset pretty bad actually. This is the exact hook that he used for his streamers back then. The offset makes it a little more difficult on a left-hander. Reason being, now everything's kind of in my way. The vise is in my way. The angle is just not good for a lefty. I actually turned it around righty. It sets real nice for a righty, but for a lefty, you kind of have to fight it a little bit. Start your thread, cut away your tie game, bring your thread all the way back to the top. Don't want to do that, to the bend of the hook. Make sure that's still in there. That's still in there good. Alright, go ahead and perk your thread right at the top of the bend of the hook. We're going to tie on our tail. Our tail is going to be golden pheasant. You're going to take a little snippet off of this. Let's go ahead and measure it out about how long you want it, which is about, well, you want a pretty long tail. Go ahead and tie it in. Pull it up underneath of your tail, the thread, and go ahead and wrap it in. Alright, looks pretty good. Now we're going to add in some peacock arrow. You don't want to go too far past on your thread wraps. Then right about here, about 1/3. Then you're going to have about 1/3 for your hot spot, and then 1/3 again for your peacock herl. Go ahead and take a couple fresh pieces of herl. Cut away the curly cues. And go ahead and lay it down there about where you want it to end at. That's about right. Right about there. Wrap it in all the way back to the starting of the tail. Alright, bring your thread back. Go ahead and perk it in front. And you can actually twist your peacock, spin it up a little bit together. It helps it to stay together as you spin it on there. Okay, that's about all the length you want. Go ahead and tie it off. Okay, about 4. That'll do it. Cut away your excess. Couple thread wraps right in front there to secure it. Now we're going to take your hotspot thread. What I'm going to use is Danville 210. His recipe actually calls for floss. I don't have any floss in red, so this Danville is actually a really good substitute. It's red fluorescent. So take your thread, your hotspot thread, throw it up underneath your tying thread, and we'll wrap it in. You want that thread right on top there. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't want a lot of unusual bulk to it. So, give it one more here. It's pretty good. Go ahead and wrap it in. Take that black thread, wrap it all the way back over top of it. Right back to where you left the peacock curl. And wrap your black thread back, keeping everything even, touching wraps. Alright, go ahead, you can cut away your tag end here of your red thread. Fluorescent red, it looks a little orange, but it's fluorescent red. Go ahead, bring your thread all the way back to the front there. And now you want to go ahead and wrap it. You want the center portion, the hotspot portion, to be a little longer than the two peacock ends. So just go ahead and wrap it up to where you like it. I've seen guys make these really, really long, and I've seen them really, really short. I want to make it more than 1/3. Go right about there. I'm going to unwrap some of this thread right now. And now we're going to go back. So you're actually going to have 3 layers of this red thread on there. Yeah, the floss that he has in his recipe is actually really thick stuff. I actually have some gold floss and a few other colors, but it's a lot thicker than this and takes fewer wraps to complete this, but this does the trick. Just go bring it all the way back to the peacock curl, and then once you reach there, bring it back to the front. Try to keep your wraps touching again. Make sure you cover up anything that is black down below it. A few more wraps and we'll be done. Okay. Go ahead and tie it off. Let's get it back up here so you can see it better. Okay, go ahead and tie this off. Cut away your red thread. And now you're going to add in some more peacock. You can use that same stuff you're using, or you can grab a couple new pieces here. Try to make sure they're the same thickness as the pieces that you used on the rear end there. Go ahead and tie those in. Right up against that orange thread, or red thread. It looks orange, but it's red on it. Alright, go ahead and wrap these in. You can wrap them in hand over hand if you want. Go ahead and tie it off. Go ahead and cut it away. Okay. A couple thread wraps there to secure it, make sure it's in there. Now you want to grab your UV finish. You're going to coat this center section. Put a little dab on the center area there. Take your bodkin. Make sure you get it all on there. Just want to protect this thread a little bit. Alright, go ahead, get your light, cure it. Alright, now you're going to take some hackle. Alright, what I did is I pulled the feather back, cut a little V at the tip there, and that's how I'm going to tie it in. You want the good section of the feather to be facing out. So go ahead and tie it in. Tie it back just a little bit too. You want that head to be a little bit bigger. About like that. Stroke your hackle feathers back. Turn it around the hook. Once. Twice. I'm going to go ahead and tie it off here. Okay. Go ahead and cut it away. How's that look? Now from here, we are going to add a wing. And the wing is going to be from this cape here. We're going to take a feather from this side and a feather from this side. That way they pair up. If you take them from both the same side, they'll never pair up. And what I did is I measured the length that I want it to be, and I stripped the feathers back to where I left myself a little stem. So now I have them married up, facing each other. You want the dull sides facing inward. Now you want to take your wing, place it right over top of your head there, the eye of the hook. Center it, give it a wrap, give it 2 wraps, adjust it so it's centered. Go ahead and wrap it in. Don't want to wrap it too far back, because if you do, then you're going to make that wing lay flat. Make sure everything stayed married. Right on top. Pretty good. Go ahead and cut away the excess. See how that wing just stayed right on top there? If you want it to lay down a little farther, what you can do, don't want to kick the camera. What you want to do is pull back one thread wrap more. It'll lay down, but you can always just pull it just up just a little bit to where you like it at. Alright, not playing around with it. Let's go ahead and give it a whip finish. Got away your thread. I like these up a little bit higher though. Don't like that. For the purpose of a picture, I guess, huh? Alright, go ahead and put a little UV finish on the front portion here. Get your bodkin, spread it around. Need a little more on the bottom there. I'll put a little bit on my bodkin. Alright. Get your light, give it a zap. You can see how that wing is right down the middle, huh? Pretty good. And there you go. You got a Royal Coachman streamer. If you like this video, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Tell me what you like about it. And if you're interested, stay tuned for more. We're going to put a few more out here. I got a few more to go in this old 50-year-old fly boxes to replicate. Alright, thanks for watching and stay safe out there.